You don't remember your mother's face. What you remember is the cold. The kind that creeps through a wool blanket before sunrise, settling into your bones before you're old enough to understand pain. Today, that cold is the last thing you'll feel as a child. Because by sunset, you'll belong to someone else. Not as a son, not as a brother, but as a page, the first step toward becoming a knight. People centuries from now will imagine your life as a tale of shining armor and glory. They're wrong. A knight isn't born with a sword in his hand. He's built, one bruise at a time. You are 7 years old when your father kneels in front of you. He's no great lord, just a minor noble with barely enough land to feed his family through winter. He places a small wooden cross around your neck. Serve well, he says. No promises, no speeches, just 3 words. Your mother wipes away tears before you can see them. A rider from the castle waits, on a horse bigger than anything you've ever seen. As the hills swallow your home behind you, you keep turning around, hoping it's still there. Eventually, it isn't. Only mud, forest, and the road ahead. The castle isn't the palace from children's stories. It smells of wet stone, smoke, and boiled cabbage. Blacksmith's hammer, glowing iron from dawn to dark. This isn't a home. It's a machine built for war, and you're one of its smallest gears. The steward barely looks at you as he hands you rough linen clothes. You're a page now. That's the whole welcome. Within minutes, you're scrubbing boots, cleaning stables, hauling water. You learn your first lesson fast. A future knight serves before he commands. Weeks turn into months. You wake before the sun, light fires, carry wood, polish helmets until you see your own frightened face in the steel. Sometimes you steal glances into the great hall, where armored knights laugh over roasted meat, their mail glinting in candlelight. They look invincible. One day, you tell yourself. Then a knight tosses his muddy shield at your feet. Clean it. Your dream can wait. His mud can't. But every chore hides a lesson. Saddling horses, you learn a frightened warhorse can kill with one kick. Carrying armor, you learn steel is heavier than it looks. Watching knights train, you memorize every stance. Your education has already begun. Before you're trusted to swing a sword, you must first learn to carry its weight. The first thing you notice is the weight, not the sword, not the shield, but the armor. Piece by piece it's strapped onto you. Padded gambeson, mail, steel plates, and finally the helmet. The visor slams shut. The world shrinks to a narrow slit of light, your own breathing echoing back like you're locked in a metal cage. This is what being a knight really feels like. Not free, not heroic, heavy. Months after earning your spurs, your lord calls for war. A neighboring baron has broken his oath. Villages burned, fields destroyed. The castle works through the night. Fletchers carving arrows, priests offering blessings that sound more like farewells. The young boys imagine glory. The older knights just sharpen their swords quietly. They know better. Before dawn, the gates open and hundreds of horses thunder onto the muddy road. For the first time, you ride not as a student, but as a knight. The enemy waits on a low hill behind wooden walls. You expected monsters. Instead, they look exactly like you. Men with families, crosses around their necks. The horns sound. Lances drop. The charge begins, walking, then trotting, then a full, earth-shaking gallop. The impact feels like slamming into a stone wall. With splinters, horses scream, your own lance shatters in your hands. You swing your sword almost without thinking. A man falls. You don't stop to check if he's dead. Someone else is already trying to kill you. Hours later, the field goes quiet. Broken shields litter the mud. You pull off your helmet and breathe. You survived. Many of your friends did not. The songs never mention the smell of blood or searching through the dead for a familiar face. That night, around a silent fire, you finally understand what the old knights try to teach you. A true knight doesn't fear battle because he's weak. He fears it because he knows exactly what it costs. On your 14th birthday, the steward calls your name. From today, you are a squire. Your first real title, and no celebration, only more work. You're assigned to Sir Geoffrey, a scarred veteran with gray creeping into his beard. He isn't famous. He isn't kind. That makes him the right teacher. The sword is the last thing you'll learn, he tells you. If you can't care for a horse, you'll never survive a battle. So your lessons start in the stables, brushing his warhorse, cleaning its hooves, feeding it before yourself. Power without trust, you learn, is useless. A frightened animal can throw you to your death. A loyal one can carry you home. Only after months does Sir Geoffrey hand you a real sword, heavier and sharper than any wooden practice weapon. Again, he says, and that word becomes the rhythm of your life. Swing, block, fall, stand, repeat, until your palms split and even sleep hurts. He never praises you. When you land a good strike, he just attacks faster. Alongside the sword, you learn the spear, the axe, falconry, and the manners of court. A knight isn't only a fighter, he's expected to lead. One careless word at a lord's table can start a feud as easily as one careless swing on the field. Then one autumn morning, bandits attack merchants on your lord's land. Sir Geoffrey rides out with a dozen knights. And for the first time, you ride with them. Not to fight, just to watch, or so you think. The ambush comes without warning. An arrow whistles past your head. A horse screams and falls, throwing its rider. A bandit rushes you with a rusty axe. There's no instructor here, no second chance. Instinct takes over. Steel clashes. You stumble back, barely raising your shield in time, before Sir Geoffrey knocks the man down with one blow. That night, cleaning blood from your sword with shaking hands, Sir Geoffrey sits beside you. You were afraid, he says. You nod. He smiles, the first time you've ever seen it. Good. The day you stop fearing battle is the day battle kills you. Training was never meant to make you fearless. It was meant to keep you moving even when you are. Years have passed. The boy who scrubbed muddy boots is gone. The squire who struggled to lift a sword is gone. Now you're the man people once whispered about. A knight, your armor scarred, your shield marked by blows that nearly ended you. Every scar is proof you survived when others didn't. People imagine knights live surrounded by glory, feasts, songs, cheering crowds. They never see the quiet nights by the fire, remembering the faces of men who never came home. A knight carries more than armor. He carries memories. Your reputation grows. Villagers call you honorable, and boys copy the way you hold your sword. But you know the truth. Being a knight was never about looking powerful. It was about responsibility. A sword lets you take a life. Honor decides when you should. One winter morning, word arrives that a rival lord has raised an army, and the king demands every knight answer. You're older now, slower, your old wounds aching in the cold. But as your squire straps on your armor, you feel something familiar. The same fear, the same weight, the same cold steel as your first battle. Only now, you're the one others look to. This battlefield feels different. You no longer charge blindly. You see everything. The frightened faces behind helmets, the exhausted horses, the young knights facing their first fight. You recognize the boy you used to be. You're the legend they're watching now. The horns sound. The enemy advances. For one breath, the field goes silent in your mind. Not because there's no noise, but because you understand exactly what's coming. Then you move. The battle is chaos, but you're not fighting for treasure or songs or your name. You're fighting for the people beside you. When a young knight falls, you pull him back. When soldiers waver, you raise your banner and shout, "Stand firm." Your voice vanishes into the roar, but they hear it and they hold. By sunset, the enemy retreats. Your army survives, but there's no cheer in your chest, only exhaustion. You pull off your helmet and look across a field where hundreds of men lie where they fell. And you finally understand the greatest lesson of knighthood. The greatest knights were never the ones who felt no fear. They were the ones who carried it anyway and still chose to protect others. Years later, people will tell stories about your battles and your courage, but they'll never truly know the journey. The child who left home, the page who served in silence, the squire who trained until his hands bled, the warrior who learned that honor weighs more than armor. Because becoming a knight was never about holding a sword. It was about becoming someone worthy of carrying it. And that was your life as a medieval knight.